Auzubillahi Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Starting with the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Uh, Dear viewers, so all of you are watching us. Today I am with my supervisor, Dr. Shazeb Khan, who is nanotechnologist. So today we will discuss some special things about the different kind of researches which is going on nowadays all over the world. Sir, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you first of all, grateful, Dr. Zohar, and I'm proud of you that I have a very brilliant and talented students, research students like you. And this time we are sitting in office. It's quite late, and we just I think one hour to open the fasting. And we are still struggling with some of the academic activities that's going on here at my office. So my PhD student, he was busy in write up some of the very good review article, and in terms of the nanocrystals. So I just thought to briefly describe some of the the very useful aspects of the nanoparticles and nanocrystals. So as my specialty is mainly on the nanocrystals, which is the most emerging area within the nanoparticles. Nanoparticle is quite diverse area, but the nanocrystal, of course, this has become very catchy and very the emerging field for the nanotechnologists in terms of the drug delivery. So I would like just to engage my student as well in some of the very basic and it's very worthy questions for the basic readers, that actually what is the nanoparticles and what is the difference between the nanoparticles and the nanocrystals, because many people get confused that nanocrystals and nanoparticles, blah blah blah, right? So Dr. Zohar, I'm trying to engage you that can you briefly tell the viewers that what is the difference between the nanocrystals and the nanoparticles, please?
Sir, first of all, I'm very thankful to you for giving me a chance to present myself in front of my viewers, to know about the nowadays people are doing researches on different areas. But our specialized area is nanotechnologies. So why there is a need of nanotechnology, or how we can differentiate between nanoparticle and nanocrystal. So sir, nanoparticle, these are very small size particle in which its range is between 1 to 100 nanometers.
Okay. In terms, I think you can tell that like in shortly, submicron particles.
Okay, these are the submicron particles.
Right. These are the nanoparticles.
Yes,
right.
Submicron particles.
Okay.
While nanocrystals, these are also the small particles, and all the nanocrystals are nanoparticles, but all the nanoparticles are not
nanocrystals. Okay, Dr. Zohar, I'm just like to interfere you as well. So this is a very clear, I think, discriminations between the two things. So you mean to say that every nanoparticles, right? Every nanocrystals are called as the nanoparticles, but not necessarily every nanoparticles must be the nanocrystals, because in nanoparticles there are two possibilities to produce or to generate or to fabricate either the amorphous nanoparticles or the crystalline particle. So when you produce the crystalline particles, these are called as the nanocrystals, which in industry perspectives they have become very popular for the drug delivery perspective as well, because the stability is the major issues with the amorphous particles, I think, right? Yes. So nanocrystal are more stable compared to the amorphous one. So nowadays the leading scientists, they are focusing on the nanocrystals generation or engineering of the nanocrystals, because in drug development perspectives, the nanocrystals, in terms of their stabilities, they have got due to these very paramount attributes, they have got tremendous attraction by the drug delivery scientists. So, of course, this is a very huge area, but just we thought to briefly discuss about the nanoparticles and the nanocrystals. And again, in the nanocrystals, there are some like smart nanocrystal, which we term as. We published like a bunch of papers on the smart nanocrystal. So, smart nanocrystals are comparatively within the nanocrystals, they are called the second generation and third generation nanocrystals, which are more stable within the nanocrystal. And you need to mix up the two combined methods to produce more smart nanocrystal. So they are mostly in second and third generation. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Sir, as we have studied in different type of literatures, that there are some brands which are available in the market of nanocrystal, that is, I think, more than 25. Sir, let's suppose in market we have different drugs. I can take the example of paracetamol or ibuprofen.
Right.
Sir, is it possible that we can take ibuprofen and then it convert into any other form to commercialize this product in the market? Because we know that already the ibuprofen that is already available, and that is used in the variety of the condition, which is the strong analgesic activity. So, sir, is it possible that we can formulate it into any other dosage form in the form of nanoparticle or nanocrystal or smart nanocrystal?
Right. Okay. Well, this is very. I think it's very good questions, and in many of the scientific meetings and talks and conferences, whenever I'm delivering the lectures on the nanocrystals, then over there many people from the industries, they are sitting in the audience, and they are taking a very it's very fantastic interest in my talk due to this the applied area of these nanocrystals, that how we can convert into dosage forms, and then we can potentially commercialize it. So as you mentioned, the examples of the ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is a very is a well-established drugs in the market, of course. But if you look at its BCS classification, it belongs to BCS second class of the drug molecules, right? So the BCS second compounds are very potential drugs candidates, of course, but they're having the poor water solubility issues. But interestingly, they have the high permeability across the membrane, right? So if you address the poor water solubility issues of this potential drug candidate, then you can modify it into another dosage form. So your question is that it's very simple. Of course we can do that. If you can produce the nanocrystals of the ibuprofen, and then you can convert into any other dosage form. So you can produce the nanocrystal loaded tablet or capsule or whatever. So that will potentially be very effective with the low dose, right? So for example, in market it's available ibuprofen, just suppose like in 500 or 800 mg or 200 or whatever. Then you can go down to the very small dose. You can get a very substantive therapeutic potential compared to the marketed one. But again, you need to check the toxicity, because if you have marketed products of 200 milligram, so you cannot give the 200 milligram in nanocrystals forms, because they are very swift absorption, and it's caused many toxicity issues. So you need to reduce the dose. When you reduce the dose, so they can produce a very good bioavailability and therapeutic activity, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for such a right answer, sir. Sir, another question is that different literature reported that almost more than 40% drugs, they are poorly water soluble and low bioavailability.
Yes.
So what are the different technique and methods, and how we will enhance the bioavailability and solubility of their drug?
Okay, this is a fantastic question at all, right? As you mentioned, 40%, but I'd like to bring in your notice that according to the very new published literature, they're saying even more than 80% of the drugs coming through high throughput screening to the market, they are poor water soluble, right? So poor water solubility is a big issue for a lot of drug candidates, right? So the drug delivery scientists, they are really focused on how to address these big issues of the plethora of drug compounds. And then when you address the poor water solubility issues, then potentially you can increase the availability, and they can result in a very attractive therapeutics potential of this drug. I would mention here there are like a lot of approaches to improve the water solubility of the drug compounds. Like if you can give the examples of micelles, micronization, the complexation, salt formations, and the complexation, salt formation, nanonizations, nanoparticles, solid lipid nanoparticle, etc. But again, within these, the nanocrystals technologies has become a very emerging field. Within the nanoparticle, nanocrystals have become a very catchy area to improve the water solubility of these drugs compounds. So nowadays, and among all the technologies that I mentioned, like micelles, salt formation, complexation, solid dispersion, blah blah blah, nanoparticles in general, it has become a very popular approach to effectively address the water solubility of this huge number of the drug compound. So that's the reason that nowadays the scientists are focusing on this specific area in the nanoparticle. Within the nanoparticle, there are many classes: polymeric nanoparticles, solid lipid nanoparticles, and then nanocrystal, etc. But in general, the nano area has become a very hot area for the drug delivery scientists, and they have reported very good results.
Oh, that's great, sir. Sir, you have started another research project, especially on fixed dose combination. So most of the people, they are asking that, for example, we are using certain kinds of medications or medicines for the treatment of a variety of infection, variety of a disease. Yep. So definitely when we are using certain kinds of drugs, so it will definitely produce undesirable effect like side effects, toxicity. So, sir, in fixed dose combination, so what will be the therapeutic outcomes of the fixed dose combinations regarding, for example, we are going to combine 2 drugs or 3 drugs.
Okay, right.
And
this is a very it's a very good question. Like during my postdoc as a Fulbright Fellow at University of Texas at Austin, I was involved in a couple of few projects in fixed dose combination. So there are like some of the patents going on, so I cannot expose the main things. But in generally, I would say that like in fixed dose combination, and instead of the physical mixing of the 2 or 3 drug components, like if you look at the different class anti-cancer, AIDS, and anti-malarials, etc., the pharmaceutical industries are just mixing of the 2-3 drug compounds and using some like encoding technique or layering or whatever. But this is not like the most attraction for the scientists. So if you do some engineering techniques, I would simply give a clue that like a particle engineering of these few drugs, couple of drugs, like if in combination 2 drugs, 3 drugs. So through particle engineering approaches, you can produce a novel fixed dose combination formulation, which will be really imperative and milestone achievements for the drug delivery scientists compared to the available fixed dose combination in the market. So I think.
Thank you so much, sir, for your precious time, and it was really a productive and scientific discussion. And mashallah, sir, we have learned a lot of things regarding research. Inshallah, in future, we will try our best to conduct a seminar.
Yes.
Inshallah.
Yeah, this was not, by the way, it was not a planned interview, but it was just like a casual talk about the. So hopefully we'll release a next video on the nanomedicine, nanoparticles. That will be more attractive. So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers. Thank you.